Welcome to AARP, Arizona Hispanic Connection. Educate. Celebrate. Connect. Arizona Hispanic Connection.
Welcome to Arizona Barrio Stories. Welcome to Latino USA TV. Welcome to 2024. We made it. We're survivors. Thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to David Parraluna. He always has the best topics. He is going to bring us more and more topics throughout the year. AARP, Arizona Hispanic Connection. We love their shows. Welcome, David.
Thank you, Irma. Happy 2024. Glad to be back, and especially with this topic, retirement bound. It's a name that I had to come up with. Bottom line, we would like to consider, you and I, a conversation on retirement preparation. I think many of us are looking at retirement ahead of us, and I think it's worthwhile to consider 10 steps that we could take. This is going to take us, this show and the next, 10 steps to take to get us ready to for retirement. It'll be in the realm of health, in the realm of money, because as we know, without money, retirement doesn't look that bright. So everything is important, health, money. So happy to join you, your show, and happy to engage in this important topic.
With the theme of salud, dinero, y amor, these topics have really hit home with me. And some of us are at that ripe age where either we're getting ready for retirement or we're there and we have to start thinking of certain issues. So I love the topics you've been bringing to us.
Definitely. I along with Retirement Bound, I created this slogan, and it is retirement, visualize it, calculate, and persist. Because just like in anything, we need to have a vision. We need to visualize what our retirement looks like. And then we also have to calculate, because we cannot be dreaming of a retirement that we cannot back it up with cash, right? It has to go hand in hand. We have a kind of a dream what our retirement should or could look like, but we also have to be realistic, and we need to do a calculation of how much money awaits us down the road. You know, sometimes people concentrate a lot on savings, and savings is important. However, it's more of the steady income that will come your way that is, I think, more important. What are we talking about? Your Social Security, your pension, your 401ks, your IRAs, be it traditional or the Roth, the annuities, the life insurance. You know, this is money that is going to be coming to you constantly until you die, right? So that is extremely important, and not just the savings.
When I was getting ready to retire, all I could think of was laying on the beach in Hawaii and just, I thought that would be it, but I'm glad you're going to go over these 10 steps with us.
Yeah. Let me just read a disclaimer. This presentation is intended to provide general guidance, not specific legal or financial advice. Individual circumstances may differ and should be taken into consideration before acting. Consult a professional for advice regarding your personal situation. You know, I'm not here to advise people. We're just here to present a conversation more than anything, just to help us consider. Because I'm 58. I'm definitely looking at, I'm retirement bound. I'm one of those, right? So I definitely have to consider, do my math, my calculation. And, you know, one of the things that I take very seriously is improving my health. Improving my health, because I've seen it many times where people get to retirement not in the best health that they can possibly could have attained had they planned it before, because it is possible to plan, even in the realm of your health. It could be your eating, your exercise, and then your preventive care with, making sure you go to the doctor every single year to make sure you're on the right track. So it's important. So again, let's cover 10 steps. We'll cover 5 on this first show. We'll cover the next 5 in the next show. But these are steps that we can take to prepare us. So number 1 is define your retirement. Very, very important. I think it's clear that I do have a radio show, and my number is all over the place. I get a lot of calls, and to be very frank with you, I hardly find people that have an idea what they want in retirement. I get it. Sometimes money is a huge limitation. If you don't have money coming to you in retirement, of course you're not going to have big dreams, right? It's logical. But we still have to get an idea what retirement looks like. That's why the first point is define your retirement. You had said about going to Hawaii, and we have this exotic dreams, if we can call them, I think one of them is travel, right? Everybody wants to travel, and it's a great one. But again, it has to be in proportion to how much money is going to be coming your way. So it's very, very important. And we have to be realistic. To me, honestly, I'm a people person. So as long as I'm with people, I'll be fine. But I would like to know actually Mexico and some of this country as well. These are 2 kind of things that I foresee. I would like to know certain places of this country, maybe travel the whole country, and then specifically Mexico. I would like to know Mexico. I left it when I was 12 years old, and I think there's a lot that has happened, and I do foresee doing some traveling, and therefore I'm getting ready also with my funding. That's important.
Next.
Well, the next one is it's kind of related. Take stock of your assets is very, very important. I have, it's interesting that once you reach a certain age, you start meeting people that are kind of like thinking in the same way. I have cousins, I have brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law who are kind of getting up there, and we're all thinking, how does the 401k work? Am I going to get the whole money from the 401k and the pensions and Social Security? Should I get it at early retirement, at full retirement age? Should I wait until 70 because I heard that you get 8% per year that you delay? It's true. But what I'm trying to say is that these are all considerations, and we have to take stock of our assets. We really, really, and even write it down. What sources of income are you going to be getting when you reach retirement? How much? And then there's implications, like tax implications. If you do it before you hit Medicare, what's going to happen with insurance if you drop your job where you had your health coverage? So all these are considerations, and we definitely need to look at income, bank, retirement accounts, anything that will represent income come to you in retirement years.
You don't want to live outside your means. You don't want to have to depend on other things to supplement your income.
And Irma, I think two very important points is taxes and inflation. Taxes and inflation. You may have your house paid off, but you still have to pay the property taxes until you die. So it's an amount, like right here in Arizona, we don't pay too much. We may be paying $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, but you go to California, they pay $6,000. Some people even pay more. So that is very significant. And then taxes, Social Security, depending on how much you make, could be taxed. Not in every state. Some states charge Social Security tax, others don't. But my point is taxes and then inflation. Look, who would have thought that last year we would have had 8.7 inflation? Oof. That was the highest that I personally have ever seen. So we have to kind of plan for all that. And then point number 3, we need to evaluate our health. This is so critical. Your exercise, your eating habits, eating healthy, and then preventive care. Insurance, a lot of people think that insurance is so that you can go to the hospital when you have a big major episode. No. Insurance is primarily for preventive. That means for you to have your annual checkups, very, very, very important.
I think people overlook their health. They focus on other things until something bad happens. And then they start thinking, oh, I should have thought about this earlier.
Yeah. And another thing about it, the health is mental health. There is a huge need to develop relationships, because at your job, you're so happy, you're so involved with the happy hours, and you do so many group things, right? But how about when you retire? That group is going to be pretty much out of the picture, right? So now you're on your own. So how many relationships, how many friends, families are you relating to via in person, via social media? Social media, even though people don't like it and there's a lot of negative stuff about social media, it could serve a great purpose. That's why we still have to develop those good relationships, and then keep our brain sharp. That is so critical.
I was just going to say, keeping your mind active.
Yes, reading, watching videos, whatever activates your mind. It's very important because of the Alzheimer kind of thing, the dementia that creeps in I think even at 58, 60, sometimes I'm becoming a little bit more forgetful, which science tells me that is kind of normal, but it's still there. So that's why we need to definitely be very, very active in our mind as well.
Creating a retirement budget.
This is so critical, so critical. Honestly, one of the determining factors in my retirement, when I'm going to do that, is going to be money. At what point, at what age do I, at this age, I'll have this much money. Then if I wait, I'll have this much more. And then if I wait more, I have this much more. It's decision time. It's doing a budget. It's calculating everything that is going to come your way. Like I said, your pensions, if you have any, your 401ks, your IRAs, anything that is an investment, a retirement investment, you need to do a calculation. You need to do a budget, because it's going to be critical to make sure. I'm sure there's people who have plenty of money, right? They probably don't have as much to worry. But then there are those of us who are, more on the middle, if you will. We really have to do a good job in creating our budget.
And finally, you kind of touched on it earlier, determine when to start Social Security.
Social Security is a very critical part in retirement, and it depends on how many other sources of income you have, right? So, if you have a lot, maybe it's not going to be as critical. But if you don't have a lot of money coming your way, deciding when to retire, whether early retirement at full retirement age, so you get your 100% of the benefits, or even waiting until you turn 70, which would give you about 124% of your benefit. All these are going to be decisions that are going to be super important, and that's why it's very, very critical to do your budget and to determine when it's best for you. In each case is different, to solicit or apply for Social Security.
You astound me every time. The points you hit, I wish I would have met you 10 years ago, 10 years ago, and maybe even further back, to plan for these things. You don't think about these things until you are retiring, and then you kind of scramble.
Yeah.
Thank you, David. Thank you for these points. I'm looking forward to our next show, because I know you're going to follow up with this with more. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Just to say that I'm still kind of on the younger side, 58, so I'm very happy to know these things. I'm very happy that my kids are knowing these things, and this is what it's all about, teaching our kids to prepare. And the more they know, the better prepared they will be.
Thank you, David.
Of course.
And we're going to see you on our next show pretty soon.
Definitely. Thank you.
I learned something from one of my principals once. He said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. These retirement points, hopefully they'll help you or somebody you know. And the next show, we're going to follow up with more. So from Arizona Barrio Stories, I want to say farewell, goodbye. Thank you for tuning in today, and as usual, I will see you soon.